Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Xoxo, this is Xoxo Tarot, and in today's Pick a Bookmark reading, we are going to be getting messages from Wonderland. So if you have ever seen or ever read any of the Alice in Wonderland books or movies, this is kind of what we're going to be referencing, and I'm really excited about this reading because it is actually a collab with 3 other amazing readers. The theme of the collab is messages from different realms. So I am doing the Wonderland realm. 9 3/4 Tarot is doing messages from the Hogwarts realm. Sidereal Tarot is doing the Under the Sea realm, messages from Under the Sea. And Celtic Fairy Tarot is going to be doing messages from the Labyrinth realm, which if you have not seen the movie Labyrinth, I would highly recommend it. I actually hadn't seen it until like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wow, I slept on this movie really hard, and now I'm a Goblin King stan. So if you have not checked that movie out, you should. But before you do that, you should definitely check out these other readers as well. Thank you so much to 9 3/4 Tarot for inviting me to be a part of this collab. So in my video today, we are just going to be seeing what the Wonderland realm wants you to know. So I am just leaving the messages open and we will see what happens. So we have 3 piles for you guys to choose from today. Starting with pile 1, we have this Who Are You bookmark with Alice and the rabbit and just black vibes going on. It's dark, and we have the oracle card underneath. And then for pile 2, we have a second oracle card, and then we have this bookmark on top that says, if everybody minded their own business, the world would go around a great deal faster than it does. So this one's a bit more simpler, but I think the message is very true. And I kind of agree with it. Not kind of, I do agree with it. And then finally for pile 3, we have this last bookmark. It's giving more yellow vibes, and it says, I give myself very good advice, but I very seldom follow it. And we've got Alice asleep with the rabbit and a little piggy. There's a little cat on the first one. So yeah, go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It's absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. I have no clue what's going to come out in these readings, so just take what resonates and do what is best for you. I really hope you guys enjoy this reading. I'm really intrigued to see what is going to come through. Definitely feel free to let me know down in the comments, or telepathically how you enjoyed the reading. I don't know if I'll get the message if it's telepathically, but you could try. And yeah, that's all I have. So the other readings will be linked down below. Thank you so much, ladies, for letting me be a part of this collab, and thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to read your cards. So once you've picked your pile or piles, you can go ahead and scroll down to the comments section, where I will have all of the timestamps listed. And once you've picked your pile or piles, I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile 1. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the first bookmark that says, Who Are You? And this oracle card, this is going to be your reading. So I'm just gonna move this so I can make sure that everything is in the frame. But let's start by looking at your oracle card. So to start, we have nonsense. It is time to talk sense. So I intended for this oracle card to kind of represent the overall energy of what your reading is going to be talking about. So let's go ahead and see. My idea for this reading was to just shuffle a couple of tarot cards from every single Alice in Wonderland deck I have. So let's go ahead and see what we have. So we have the 6 of Wands in reverse, and we have the Sun. We have the High Priestess in reverse. We have the Hermit upright, and we have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Queen of Wands upright, as well as the Ace of Swords upright. We have the 6 of Wands in reverse again, so that's clearly very important. And finally, we have the Queen of Wands again, but this time in reverse. Okay. Wow. Let me look and make sure. Okay, cool. They're all in the frame, but I feel weird that there's like nothing here. So Let's get the smoky quartz boy out here and some citrine. Good vibes. Okay. So, pile 1. I am definitely seeing that this message from Wonderland has a lot to do about reminding you of your power and also reminding you of the power of your own voice. I feel like there's kind of 2 energies that I'm feeling here. One of them pertains to someone outside of yourself. This could be a peer. I literally heard the word cohort, so they could be in a cohort with you of some kind, a boss, a leader, someone that has more power than you in a certain structure. So I am getting an energy of someone like that, who may be very constricting or draining. They could be very demanding. If you've ever seen or read, I was about to say The Wizard of Oz, but I meant to say Wonderland. If you know the Queen of Hearts, she's always screaming, you know, off with her head. So this could be someone that's particularly loud or abrasive. This could also be someone that implements silly rules, not because they have any purpose, but just because they want to exercise their power over others, which, like, ugh, cringe. But not only that, the vibe that I'm getting is that not only is this energy going on, but on top of that, I feel like you are definitely very much struggling with your ability to believe in yourself, with your ability to trust what you feel. And I definitely feel like for a lot of you, this person could actually be targeting you in some way or picking on you in some way. And I feel like if that's the case, it is entirely because they see you as a threat or as a as competition in some way. The other vibe that I'm getting, though, is that this situation is really affecting your self-esteem. And I feel like for a lot of you, you may be thinking, like, you know, why do they pick on me so much? It must be because of this. It must be because of that. Like, you may be looking for flaws within yourself to justify why this person is making you feel this way, or justify why this person might be picking on you. Even if, like, this, honestly, like, you could even have more power than them realistically, but they act like they have more power. Like, I would say, like, the telltale sign of who this person is someone that likes to be in control and likes to get their way. They could be quite loud, or their tone could be quite, like, intense and severe sometimes. I think that it's quite likely that this person has a really strong ego, and I wouldn't be shocked if they spend a lot of time and energy talking about themselves and propping themselves up. I get the vibe for some of you as well that, like, this is someone who will step on, like, anyone's toes to get where they want to go. And I think that you may be a more sensitive soul, or just more unsure of yourself and unsure of your value and your worth, especially if you are newer or this person is older than you. I feel like the biggest thing that Wonderland, I guess I'm going to say Spirit, but Wonderland wants you to know is that the reason why you trigger this person so much is because you have something that they don't. And I heard some shady things in my head that I'm not going to say out loud, but you do have more heart and more kindness and more grit than this person does. And I feel like there are elements of you that really trigger this person. You may be like a softer person, like you may come across as more gentle, or you may just not be the type to be like super domineering in spaces, but it seems like people still either like respect your opinion or just like you. And I feel like this person doesn't like that because they find you to be someone that is a threat to them. I feel like with these 3 cards especially, Spirit is really wanting you to know that your intuition is not wrong. I feel like you might be feeling like you're being unnecessarily singled out, or you may be feeling like this situation is really unfair, but you may not know what to do. And I feel like Wonderland is really telling you to just not play into this person's BS, and not only that, to trust your gut and do not be afraid to stand up for something if you don't agree with it. Especially because if this is a situation where you've been holding your tongue or holding back because you're unsure if like you need to stay in this position or stay in this group. I feel like the universe is saying you're not the only one that feels this way, even though you might feel like you are. And if something were to happen from you speaking up, this place needs you more than you need them, or this situation or this group, like they need you more than you need them. So the one thing that I will say is like, if you're trying to plant roots in this situation, you might find that things are not coming to fruition, or you might find that your perspective of the situation is limited because I think you're really focused on how this person may be treating you. And you may not be realizing that this person is doing similar things to other people, maybe just to a lesser degree, or maybe behind closed doors. But I feel like this person does say a lot of things that are not true just in order to like get a rise out of people, or to create confusion, spread rumors, gossip. And I feel like this person, especially like you can see it in the Sun card, I feel like they get off on kind of being above other people. And I feel like what Wonderland really wants you to know is that this person does not, this person is a lot more insecure than they let on. It actually makes me think of this quote from The Art of War by Sun Tzu. When you are strong, appear weak, and when you are weak, appear strong. And I feel like this is an excellent example of a person who is weak, so they must appear strong. And in your case, I think that they do a lot to try to make you feel really bad about yourself, or make you feel unconfident. Like, as for example, if you're both working on a project, like I wouldn't be shocked if this person would like criticize everything, or be like, that's a dumb idea, or something like that, like where they would just nitpick and belittle things. Even if things are really good, it's like they almost look for a reason to kind of tear you down. And here's the thing, the solution is in these two cards right here. Because this person is almost trying to bully you into someone that is more meek and submissive, which maybe you do kind of resonate with those qualities, but I think that this situation is pushing you to move out of that energy, especially around this person. This energy is kind of like creating friction that is forcing you to kind of stand up for yourself and recognize the BS that is thrown your way by people who feel weak and insignificant and insecure. So with this Queen of Wands card being here with the Ace of Swords, Wonderland, the real message that Wonderland wants you to know is that your power, your true power lies in how you respond to this person, and to also recognize that you don't have to play their games. Like you can, what's it called, like gray rocking someone, where like, you know, they might try to gossip with you or something like that, and you just don't give them anything to work with. You, like if they ask you about your weekend, be like, it was fine. What'd you do? Nothing. Like just give them nothing to work with. But at the same time, I feel like with this Queen of Wands here, there could be something to do with your appearance. Like maybe this person is jealous of your physical appearance. Maybe you get more attention, and so they really target you because you trigger their insecurities around their appearance. But I feel like they are more domineering and controlling because that's the only way that they feel safe and can prop themselves up and feel good about themselves. But like I almost see this person in this Humpty Dumpty card with the Sun here. Like they're only happy when they're on top of others, and they're only going to help someone else up if it means that they get a leg up as well, like they get something out of it. So, but if you notice, Humpty Dumpty is an egg, so like it can crack and break very easily. And I feel like that is kind of what Spirit wants you to understand about the fragility of this person. So they may be able to dish it out, but they can't take it. So, I mean, if you dish something that they gave out back, I will slightly warn you about that, because it might like give this person more fuel to go after you with. But if you just don't allow this person's like negativity, their energy, or like just don't even let them, if you just cut through the nonsense and like not even allow it to phase you, even if it does like not show them, that will help you so much. I actually want to get what it says in the book because I feel like I'm not explaining it very well. Here it is. Okay, 28 nonsense. There's some good guidance in here around that, where it says Like Alice, you do not need to say very much or criticize the person, argue with them, or even point out what they are doing. You simply need to be firm, clear, and direct, and cut through all the nonsense that is taking place. If you do this, you will silence them and they can do you no harm. They will be so surprised that someone is expressing their personal power and pointing out their silliness that you will be quite safe. Others will be grateful, and in time too, they too will stand up for themselves. Even though you may not be as, quote, powerful as the other person, your inner courage, when expressed, makes you an amazing person who can change the world with a simple refusal to tolerate bad behavior for one moment longer. And so I feel like that's really what's coming through with this Queen of Wands, Ace of Swords energy. So like, for example, if this person were to say something to you like your outfit looks really bad today, I would be like, if I were in that situation, I'd be like, oh, thanks for letting me know. That's not very nice, but I'll be sure to text you beforehand and get your approval next time I dress myself for work or something like that. I don't know. I'm not much of a comeback person, but like literally just like pointing out when this person is being unkind, pointing out when this person is being unfair, or just pointing out when there are rules that don't make any sense. I feel like you would be shocked. Like, you're not the only one thinking this way or feeling this way. I feel like you all just might be a little bit afraid, and this person might actually be like triangulating people in this group or in this like workplace, or I keep hearing the word cohort, and I don't know what that is in reference to, but I'm sure you will if it applies to you. But essentially, like, the vibe that I'm getting is that this person may kind of like to keep everyone close to them and create division around everyone else. So like, this person might come to you and tell you that a mutual friend was saying these bad things about you when in reality it was like them. You know what I mean? And so I feel like really what Wonderland wants you to know is that, first of all, this person's power and their confidence is an illusion. It's not real. It is something that they create in order to feel more powerful because they don't feel good about themselves. And your intuition about this person is correct, and you don't need their approval, and you don't need to change their mind about you. Like, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them and their lack of confidence. And I feel like the biggest thing, the best way to approach this person in this situation is not to be thinking how you can win the situation, but just to refuse to play the game with them altogether. Like, I'm not going on that tennis court with you, girl. Like, I'm not playing chess with you. All right? You play dirty and you cheat. Like, just recognizing that this person is wanting to play games, is wanting to bring people down to their level, like, it will reflect so well on you for you to just not play into that and not give them any motivation or any energy. And on top of that, I feel like the one thing that Wonderland wants you to know as well is that your perspective and your perception of the situation that has unfolded with this person, and maybe within, like, if this is like a coworker, for example, like the projects that you're working on, your ideas are really solid. Your perception is very solid, and there's a lot of sense to it. So if this person is tearing things down, but you feel like they could actually be helpful or really make sense, I feel like that is an excellent example of where you need to speak up. And maybe you need to like get away from this person so that you, like, if there's someone above them that you can speak to. But I really do feel like the more you just don't play into their silly little games, and you recognize that they're not like, it may feel like a direct attack, but it is not necessarily you. It's just their own reaction to power, and they feel like you have a lot of power, and that really triggers them. And I would ask you to look at your birth chart and see where Pluto is in that chart, and how many like Pluto placements, Scorpio placements, or Pluto not placements, you have one Pluto placement, but how Pluto interacts with the other placements in your chart, because Pluto is very representative of power. And people with strong Plutonian aspects, oftentimes when they're meeting people or when they're getting to know people, they're not getting to know the true person. They're getting to know the person and how they deal with power. And so what I kind of mean by that is, like, rather than getting the authentic version of a person, you're getting the version of that person when it comes to how they react to power. So if you have someone that is really drawn to power, if you have a powerful like energy, that person's probably going to be really drawn to you. If you have someone like this who's really triggered by power, they're probably going to be very aggressive and unnecessarily unfair towards you, because deep down they may not consciously realize it, but they're not acting aggressive towards you. They're acting aggressive towards the power they feel that you have. Does that make sense? But essentially, I would say the fact that they're spending so much time and energy on you just goes to show how much power you truly do have. And on top of that, how capable you are of not letting this person into your energy or be a problem. Like, they're definitely someone who is just trying to bring you down to their level, and the more you just focus on yourself and recognize that it's not coming from a place where they're trying to attack you. I mean, they might be, but understand that has nothing to do with you. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just like this person and their own problems, their own drama. The more you'll realize there was never anything wrong in the first place. And I think it will really help you become aware of the fact that, like, not only do you just bring value to every space that you embody, but also, you know, you have a lot of valuable traits and aspects. And, you know, some people might not like that, but your voice has power, and your ability to stand up for yourself, what you believe in, is very powerful. And I think that Wonderland is really just urging you to stop letting, you know, people like this who are insecure make you feel unworthy or make you feel bad about yourself. Like, this person might be wanting to kind of take you away from yourself in ways where, like, they almost bully you or bring you down because they don't want you to see how truly magical and powerful you really are. So I'm here to let you know that this person is wrong. You are actually the shit, and they need to get over it. They just need to get over it, and you need to get over the fact that you're so much greater than you think. And not only that, this person has no power over you. The less you react to them, the less time and energy you give to them, and the more you just focus on yourself and cut through any nonsense they're trying to bring to your doorstep, the simpler your life will be, and the more this person will unravel and reveal their true colors. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish this reading off with some final guidance cards, and we'll just see what comes out here. So we have: look down at your body, whisper, there is no home like you. Thank you. Find a way to give thanks using your body. What small acts of service can you provide for others or to your surroundings? So one small act of service could be standing up to this person, but this actually brings up a really good point about the body. So if you really struggle with grounding, or you identify as like an empath or a highly sensitive person, it is essential that you ground, because if you're someone that struggles with dissociation as well and not being present in your body, it is so important that you ground, because your body is not just like your vehicle for moving through the material reality, but it also serves as a protective mechanism that kind of keeps external energy more at bay. So when your energy is not fully in your body and you're kind of existing outside of it, it's a lot easier for external energy to affect your energy. And so one of the things that would actually be really helpful in situations like with this person, you know, if they have a really aggressive, dark energy, if your energy is existing outside of yourself and there's no boundaries, it's going to be a lot easier for that energy to directly impact you. Whereas if you're grounded and you're present and you've done some energy protecting rituals and you're in your body, their energy is not going to affect you as much. Sounds weird, but try it. We also have hope. Hope is always there, even if we can't see it. Optimistic expectations can help change a negative situation into a positive one. So yeah, especially if you're feeling like really overwhelmed by this person and this situation, I feel like Spirit is really saying, you may be catastrophizing things because like this situation is just getting overwhelming, which like I completely understand, but I think Spirit is saying like there's so much more hope here than you realize, and the more you see your power and recognize it, the easier it will be for this situation to resolve itself. We also have surrender fear. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. Yeah, I actually think like, listen, it might sound weird, but I feel like at one point, at some point, you'll be thanking this person, because I think they're going to be a huge catalyst for you, not only seeing your worth, but for you seeing like just how much power you truly have and how awesome your voice is and your perspective is. But we also have, I claim my desires, I hold great visions, and I am ready to receive. And I love that it's like the same color as this pink dress and the Queen of Wands. Like, this is the energy you want to be in. Claim your desires, hold great visions, and be ready to receive. And like, if this person is mouthing off and being like, "Meh, you can't get what you want, your visions suck," you just tune it out. Put your headphones in. And finally, we have discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. And so I think one thing is that it may take some discipline to be able to tolerate this person or their behavior. But like the more you do it, the easier it'll get. And I promise you, the most power they hold over you is when you're in a place of fear. So the more you can surrender that fear, trust in love, trust in hope, and recognize that they are just a really loud chihuahua, you'll realize you've got nothing to worry about. But pile 1, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That's one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me. But if you would like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. Definitely go check out the 3 other readings as a part of this collaboration series. Also check out my social media, which is linked down below, as well as my merch and my candles. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being here. I hope these messages resonated, and I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the second bookmark that says, if everybody minded their own business, the world would go around a great deal faster than it does, this is going to be your reading. Let me just make sure I get it. Okay, all right, we're good. And your oracle card that you also chose says, law is not justice, rules that are not fair. I love the bookmarks and the oracle cards. I all shuffled at random, and they're like matching really well. So I decided to just go ahead and shuffle some tarot cards from every single Alice in Wonderland deck that I have. So this is going to be your message. Let's go ahead and see. So I figured this oracle card would be like the theme, and these cards will represent the elaboration of that message. So to start, we have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Star in reverse. We have the Sun upright. And we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. We also have, what is this? This is the 9 of Swords. I literally can't tell. Yeah, it's the 9 of Swords. Okay. We have the 9 of Swords. We have the 7 of Wands upright. Okay, 2 more. We have the 8 of Pentacles. And finally, the 2 of Swords in reverse. Let me just make sure everything's in the frame. Okay, so this is tough. And it's not tough because, like, in terms of, here's what's tough. I definitely feel like this pile is dealing with a situation where you may be unfairly judged, or you may just be dealing with circumstances where it feels like you just have to fight harder than most people, or it seems like you have to work harder than most. If that's not the case, then I definitely think that there are other people feeling that way, and they're seeing you as someone that has benefited more, or that has gotten more, or something like that. I feel like if you're dealing with people that are judging you or something like that, it's definitely coming from a place of insecurity. And I feel like the message that is just coming through loud and clear is that it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with insecurities of other people. However, I do want to say, if you feel called to, you may want to watch pile 1, because there's kind of a similar theme there. But you might be feeling like you're just existing and people are hating on you for it, or judging you unfairly. And I feel like the one thing that Wonderland wants you to know is that you don't have to accept those judgments. Those judgments don't mean anything about you, but also those judgments are coming from people trapped in their own darkness who can't really see accurately anyway. The overall vibe that I'm getting, though, is for those of you that are not dealing with that, I do feel like there could be a sense of like guilt. Like maybe things are going really well for you right now, and maybe you didn't anticipate that, and maybe other people are going through a lot of struggle and a lot of hardship, and you may be feeling like you may be dealing with like imposter syndrome or a lot of guilt around just like what you've received, or around like feeling good or feeling happy. And I feel like one thing that, you know, Wonderland wants you to know is that it's not your job to uplift other people the same way you've done for yourself. I feel like no matter what you have done, like you've earned it on your own. And I feel like the universe is really just telling you not to let that get in the way of your happiness and your joy. You know, you don't know what someone's journey is meant to entail. And I feel like this card is coming through to remind you that nobody said that like the universe was always fair, or that life is always fair. It's not. Like, true equality, I think, is something that is an ideal, but like in practice doesn't really work too great. And at least right now, who knows for the future. But what I do know is that with this pile, it does kind of seem like you're literally just minding your own business. And you might find that there are times where you have these just bouts of like severe negativity and you don't know why. And then you're like beating yourself up about it. And you're like, there's no reason for me to be feeling this way. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. Like, I just need to stop. Or you might just not understand why, like your logical conscious mind is like, things are great. I am happy. Life is good. But then underneath that, you're feeling this sense of doom, or this sense of anguish, or this sense of fear. And I think that might actually be because of like either psychic attacks being sent your way or negative energy being sent your way. So I do feel like one of the messages that Wonderland has for you is to really pay attention to when those states of being happen. Because I will say, like, from personal experience, one thing that I realized, like, I know exactly what depression feels like, anxiety feels like when it's coming from yourself. But when it's coming from a place outside of you and you've never experienced that before, it's like hard to understand how it's not yourself. So I will say, like, you'll know when like darker energy is coming from yourself, because it starts within. Like, there's a central point where you can, like, you feel it, right? But when you are trying to feel good in your conscious mind, you know, like, things are good, you should be feeling good, and you're just not feeling good and you're feeling anxious and you don't really know why. I would say it feels more like, oh, I just got deja vu, that was weird, but it feels more like oh my god, yeah, oh my god, I want to scream. Like, no, this is actually really scary. I had a dream about this like at least a year ago. Over a year ago. I've like seen this. Okay, anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. You might be kind of like running in circles with your mind, being like, why am I feeling this way? Why is this happening? And I will say, like, you'll know this is the case for you if you can't pinpoint anything within you that would be triggering these darker emotions. But it feels like the darker energy almost feels kind of like suppressive or oppressive, or it feels like it's coming from the outside of you. Pay attention to that, because if that is the case, then that is dark, like negative energy trying to get into your energy field. And that is when you want to do energy cleansing. That is when you want to take a second to ground and focus on light. Nothing can enter your space unless you allow it. So, you know, when that energy is coming through, saying no thank you, I choose love today. A stone I would highly recommend is peridot. It is a great stone for compassion, as well as rhodochrosite. I think any heart-centered stones could be really helpful when you are struggling with dealing with darker energy. But I feel like the one thing that Spirit/Wonderland wants you to know is that you don't need to intellectualize or internalize why this is happening to you, because it's really not as personal as you think it is. Like, it's literally just jealousy. It's literally just other people's insecurities that they're projecting onto you. And their judgments can only be true if you agree with them. So I feel like the universe is kind of just reminding you to, like, keep staying in your lane and focusing on what is truly important to you, because you don't need to go into this, like, rigorous self-analysis around why you might be feeling a certain way. Like, it takes just a little bit. Like, is this coming from within me? Yes or no? If it's not coming from within you, it's coming from outside of you. And that is a sign that you just want to regroup and say, okay, this has nothing to do with me. This is somebody else. I do not accept this energy. I choose love today. Thank you. Like, anything like that. And just keep moving forward, because I feel like you could be feeling this sense of, like, impending doom, like something bad is going to happen. And I feel like that that's not a realistic perspective that you should be having. I think if anything, things are just good right now, and maybe you're not used to that, or maybe you feel like you have to like keep fighting for that. And I feel like the universe is saying you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need anyone to validate how hard you've worked or how far you've come. I feel like the biggest thing is that one of the things about psychic attacks is that even though part of the reason why they're called psychic attacks is that even though the attack may last like a couple of seconds, couple minutes at most, it stays in your psyche a lot longer. And so if you are ruminating about it, becoming fearful of it, you are literally leaving yourself more vulnerable and allowing the attack to kind of continue, if that makes sense. So the best thing that you can do is just recognize that like sometimes people are going to send negativity or want to attack you for no other reason than they're insecure, they're bored, they lack empathy. Boredom is a big one. They don't have hobbies. They don't have shit to do. Like, that is not your problem. In fact, when you become aware of that stuff, look at that as fuel to continue moving towards your own happiness. I feel like there's a childlike sincerity to you that keeps you connected to your heart and your truth, and not a lot of people have that awareness. And I feel like you might pick up on negativity outside of you and use it as an opportunity to kind of like beat yourself up a little bit. Like you feel it and then you might be like, ugh, like I suck because I'm feeling this way, or like I knew like I didn't deserve this, or I just feel like it could be very easy for you to fall into a very negative way of looking at yourself. And I feel like Spirit is really saying you have worked for everything that you have and you deserve it. You don't need to feel guilty about it. You don't need to feel like you've done something wrong or that life made a mistake. Life does not make mistakes. But also you do need to recognize that you do need to be able to recognize when dark energy is not coming from within you, but from outside of you, because that energy will affect you if you're not careful and you're unaware of it. And I'm like just sitting here, like I want you to be able to feel happiness and peace and contentment for where you're at in life. And just because other people are not happy and content with where they're at doesn't mean that you shouldn't be allowed to feel that way. Like you're entitled to the good things that you've worked for. And I feel like with the 7 of Wands being here, Wonderland is really saying like the best way to fight back from those forces is to redirect your energy towards loving things, to not accept any of that coming into your energy, and, you know, cleanse your space, cleanse your energy if you feel like you need to. But ultimately, I feel like there may be a little bit of discomfort around your light and around the beautiful things that you've accumulated for yourself. And Spirit's just saying, you know, life isn't fair. Like, we're all on different journeys. We're all learning what we need to, but just because your journey looks different from other people's, just because you have been blessed and fortunate in certain ways, doesn't mean that other people are not blessed and fortunate in certain ways. Maybe you're just more aware of it than they are. And I feel like more than anything, any negativity being sent your way is coming from people that believe you have something that they don't, or that you just merely existing has taken something from them that they don't have. And that's just not true. It's their own distorted illusions. And so if there's any mean things said towards you, just know it's not even like, it's literally, you may as well equate it to like walking down the street and like a random person just yelling something mean at you because they're like having a bad day or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not, it just has nothing to do with you. And I feel like if anything, other people's opinions of you are none of your business. So if you mind your business and focus on your own happiness, you're going to be a lot happier, and you're also going to be able to pay more attention to when there is negativity outside of you, so that you can ground and protect yourself. But honestly, one of the most powerful things you can do is just be like, no thanks, I choose love today, and just keep moving forward. You can also just pray for protection and pray that any negativity is returned to sender. One stone that's really good, fire agate, is a really great stone for returning negativity sent to the sender. Your girl wears a lot of this because it doesn't just like deflect negativity, it recognizes where the negativity was sent and what they sent, and they send that shit right back. Also, obsidian is a great one. I've got some on both hands. This one's snowflake, this one's regular, but any like black stones are really great for energy protection as well. But I feel like more than anything, this is just a lot about recognizing that you're not responsible for other people's happiness. You're not responsible for other people's success. You're not responsible for showing other people that they're more than they truly are. Like, you owe these people that are sending you this negativity nothing, and you owe these people that are judging you absolutely nothing. So the more you just recognize that it's not your responsibility to prove to these people that you are something, like, nobody can take your truth away from you. You are who you are, period. And there is no amount of judgment that could truly take you away from yourself. And so I feel like Wonderland is really just saying, like, these people are not in a wonderland, they're in a hell of their own making, and they are just trying to bring other people down to their level because, you know, misery loves company, and that's okay, but that's not the company that you like to be a part of. So I would say, I would really, really, really guide you to just stay focused on your energy, and rather than like looking for excuses to doubt yourself, looking for excuses to reaffirm your imposter syndrome, just take a step back and recognize when you are feeling that negativity, even though it doesn't logically, like, there's no logical reason for it and it's not coming within. Just recognize, okay, this is negativity from outside of me. Like, I'm just going to take a step back, focus on myself, and focus on what makes me feel good so that I can be less aware of this energy and deflect from this energy. I would also say as well, if there are any social media sources that particularly make you feel anxious or unsafe, or if there are social media sources where you know there could be people that are like waiting to bash you or hate on you, I would say just like be very intentional with how often you use those and what you share and with whom, because I do feel like you could be making yourself vulnerable. But maybe, you know, just deleting those people or just being careful about what you share could be really, really helpful. But that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this message. So let's go ahead and finish this message off with some guidance cards. So to start, we have, take a few moments to note a gift or opportunity that you've been ignoring or taking for granted and give thanks from your heart. We are all more blind to what we have than what we have not. So yeah, I feel like you may be like, the negativity that you're experiencing outside of you may be making you feel like you don't deserve what you have, or just making you really focused on the things that you don't need to be, that like are either not even part of your reality or that you just don't even need to be focusing on. And I feel like that's kind of part of the attack. It's like to take you away from the joy and the beauty that already exists in your reality and kind of make you feel like your current reality isn't enough, or that you're not enough, or that just icky vibes, icky bad vibes. We don't like them. And one of the best ways to get rid of icky bad vibes is to be grateful for what you have right in front of you. We also have abundance. Yes, I love this. Prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks you may have. In fairyland and humanland, there is enough abundance for everyone. So I definitely feel like as well, this like kind of this energy could be blocking your abundance, in the sense that like you could be worried that you're going to lose everything, you're going to be worried that you're not going to get more, that people are going to realize you're a fraud or something like that. And I feel like that is part of this attack as well, is like it's to make you doubt yourself, it's to make you not be as open to your blessings. And I feel like the universe is saying the more you focus on the sun energy, the more easily abundance will just align with you. But yeah, we also have surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in, rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. Yeah, so if you're really struggling with like negativity, you know, if there's anyone that could really just remind you how wonderful you are, or that you just feel good and safe around, they might be a good person to talk to about this, because they could just help remind you of how great you are. But I also think like if you've been carrying this weight all on your own, you know, if you have any spiritual friends or someone who kind of understands psychic attacks and things like that, maybe talking to them and opening up about what you're going through could be really helpful. But finally, we also have, I can expand time when I'm inspired. So I feel like you might also be feeling like you're running out of time, or that like you're peaking, or that your time will be up, and that's just not true. Like, every day is a new opportunity, and I feel like you need to be looking at what's in front of you, not what's behind you or what could be in the distance. But finally, we have guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. And I think one of the things that you need to let go of is this idea that you don't deserve what you've worked for, that you don't deserve to feel joy, that you don't deserve to feel happy. Like, I feel like you've gone through a real, I feel like you've been through hell and back. Like, you've gotten to where you have because of your hard work, because of your discipline, because of your determination to make life better and to change. And so if, you know, if there are people that are jealous of that, let that be the case. Like, you know, a lot of people would rather sit and complain in the mud than stand up and get out of it and wash themselves off. Like, shit is warm. That's why I guess there's like some quote that's like, it's easy to sit in shit when it's really warm or something like that. Or, I don't know, I'm butchering it. But the point is, other people sitting in shit does not mean that you should feel bad for not sitting in shit anymore, all right? If you want to sit in a chair that you earned your goddamn self, then you deserve that, and you have earned it. And I feel like the universe wants to bless you even more. So the more you can release this negativity and stay open to the unlimited paths of abundance and find gratitude for the little things in your life that you appreciate, the better off you will be. So pile 2, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do something else. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to show me support and gratitude for what I do. Be sure to check out the other readings as well. They will be linked down below. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, you can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. Shout out to my notification squad, you guys are the fucking best. Beware of scammers pretending to be me. I do not offer personal readings. If you would like to check out my merch or my beautiful candle, that will be linked down below as well. But that is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Pile 3, welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose this bookmark that says I give myself very good advice, but I very seldom follow it, this is going to be your reading. And you guys chose this oracle card as well, which I do intend to kind of be like the main message of the reading. So we have follow your own good advice. Trust yourself, you know what is best for you. I love when things work like that. But clearly we have a lot to talk about advice and good advice and trusting yourself. So my goal for this reading was to just kind of look at, I decided to shuffle from every Alice in Wonderland deck that I had and just kind of see what message wanted to come out. So to start, we have the Hanged Man. And we have the 9 of Cups. We have the 9 of Cups again. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, okay, so we also have 2 clocks, which is interesting. We also have the Fool in reverse, as well as the Lovers in reverse. We have the Tower. And we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, I actually really love this reading, and I love how many synchronicities there are in it, because the main message that Wonderland wants you to know is that you need to start trusting yourself, and you need to start trusting yourself more. You need to start thinking bigger. You need to start thinking brighter. And you need to worry a hell of a lot less about how things unfold and trust instead. I do see one thing that they're kind of hammering home that is very important is that you don't take your own advice. And I do think that that is something that gets in the way of your ability. Like, you may block your own blessings sometimes because you give in to your chaos, or to, like, you know how like we all have like a little devil and a little angel on our shoulder. You might give in to your little devil a little bit more than your little angel. But I think the thing is with the 9 of Cups, there's something that you really want to happen in your life, something that you're wishing for that is destined, is meant to happen, but it only happens with you surrendering and looking at things from a different perspective. And I think this perspective has a lot to do with trusting yourself and letting go of the opinions of others or the judgments of others. I do feel like with this Tower / King of Pentacles in reverse, for some of you, this could pertain to like a breakup or a divorce with someone that was in your life. That may have made you feel like you couldn't be successful without them, or they may have made you feel like you needed them in order to be successful. I feel like one thing is, whatever this wish is, whatever you're hoping will manifest, I feel like this person being in the picture, like it couldn't manifest with this person in the picture for whatever reason. But I also think that this person may have told you things that made you feel like you couldn't trust yourself, or told you things that made you feel small, or like you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know what is right. And I feel like with this Tower card being here, I feel like you could have grown out of your surroundings in some way and had to have like changes that were very necessary. But as a result, I feel like you may be still reeling from the changes that have happened, and you may just be afraid for what's next. You may be wondering like why things are unfolding the way that they are. The interesting thing is like the biggest vibe that I'm getting is that you may be worried that like you may have made the wrong decisions, or the changes that have happened, like you're going to regret them. And I feel like you're not. If anything, I think you may just still be going through the healing process of having a major change happen in your life, and that's okay. I do feel like though, this situation will really start to shift, and you'll see what you're like, whatever you're desiring actually start to manifest when you let go of the when and the how, and when you let go of fear. I feel like you may actively recognize that things manifest the most easily when you're aligned with an energy of love, when you make decisions from a place of love, when you make choices from a place of love. But what you may not be realizing is that you're kind of not really in that energy. I feel like you may still be making decisions from a place of fear and from a place of uncertainty. And actually, I think it's really interesting that we have the Mad Hatter upside down in both of these cards here, even though this is the Fool and this is the Hanged Man, which the Hanged Man is like in the middle between the Fool and the World. So I do feel like you're in the middle of a cycle right now, and I feel like the universe is saying that you know what you need in order to make yourself most comfortable during this period of time, which is the timeless reading. But also, I feel like the universe wants you to know what you're seeking is also seeking you. Like, we have this Nine of Cups here twice, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Hangman. And with the Lovers being here in reverse, I feel like you're still worried and still afraid that you don't deserve whatever it is that you're wishing for. You don't deserve whatever is actively trying to manifest in your life. But it's definitely according to divine timing. And I think one thing that Wonderland wants you to know is that the universe is not working on your clock. And if you give, and if you create time constraints or something like that, you're gonna find that you're disappointed because the universe doesn't work on timing. Divine timing is not a day on the calendar. It is created every day through our behavior, through our actions, through our lack of action. And I feel like in this case, you don't need to be focused on what other people are doing or how other people have had their dreams manifest. You came into this world with soul knowledge of how to make your dreams become a reality, of how to make your desires come to a reality. And there isn't an instruction manual. The instruction manual is in your heart, and your heart is what leads you. And I think that's actually what is meant to be learned right now, especially with this Hanged Man in reverse, is the fact that it's not foolish to lead with your heart instead of your head sometimes. I mean, obviously, don't do something without like thinking over the logistics first, but your heart knows when there's a good decision to make, and when something is right. You know what I mean? And I feel like in this case, you may be very afraid of trusting your heart because maybe things that your heart told you to go after in the past are falling through now, or are not a part of your life anymore. And the thing is that your heart wasn't wrong in leading you to those places in the first place. You were meant to go there. Like, that was part of your journey. And now things have shifted and you're moving towards different things, and that's okay. That's wonderful. I mean, it may be hard as well, but I think what you're not realizing is you may be worrying that your heart is getting you into a situation, or that the dreams that you're hoping for are like foolish, and that you might look really stupid. And I feel like, first of all, you're like, it's not stupid to want something bigger and to dream for more. Not only are you going to get it, but I feel like the best thing that you can do, honestly, is just don't tell people your plans. Don't tell people your hopes. Trust them in your heart, and recognize that anyone who is unwilling to support your dreams and desires is not meant to be a part of your path. Like, the people that are truly aligned with you will not belittle you for the things that you want to achieve, will not make you feel bad for your dreams, and will not make you feel like you're stupid or silly for having them. I do think, though, the one thing that Spirit is saying on your end that needs to change is you need to start making those necessary changes that you know you need to make. With the King of Pentacles in reverse, it may be that you have a hard time with discipline, or you have a hard time making those necessary changes for solid, sustainable growth. And I feel like Spirit's saying that is what needs to happen. Like, if you feel like the walls are closing in on you and you feel like life is kind of feeling really constricting, it's because energetically the universe is pushing you to make necessary changes so that you can break out of whatever habits and patterns that have been holding you back from these dreams that you're trying to accumulate, from your destiny, from the beautiful things that you're wishing to manifest. And I feel like that the way that you need to look at it differently is, rather than making these changes because you have to, making these changes because you want to, because you know that there will be a reward for that. And the reward is, while the change might be hard, you'll find that your life is actually a lot easier once you make these necessary changes, because they're more aligned with the person that you're becoming. The biggest thing that you want to pay attention to is decision making here on out. Am I making choices based on fear or based on love? Am I making decisions and choices because they align with the person I want to become, or am I making them because I am seeking acceptance, or I am afraid of doing another option because that option is outside of the box or it challenges me? Ultimately, I think that you need to trust yourself. And if you have any particularly male figures, whether they're like a guardian, an ex-partner, or even maybe a current partner, that is making you feel like you can't do something on your own, I feel like they are not seeing it through your lens, and that's okay. But you don't need to take their word as law. Like, they might think that they know everything, but they don't know everything. And ultimately, listen, here's what I will say. If I sat my parents down and was like, hey, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel and I'm gonna live my life with that, they would have been like, you're crazy. Like, what? But I didn't tell them anything. I just did it. And then when logically it was like, okay, I am making more doing this than I am at my regular job, and I had like something stable, I just like told them like, hey, I'm doing this thing now. Whether you're on the trolley or not is fine. Like, I'm just gonna keep doing it. And the thing is like, if I had consulted them before I ever started, or consulted them before I tried something, they probably would have talked me out of it. Not because they didn't believe in me, but probably just because they were trying to be logical and trying to keep me safe and protect me. But that's the thing, is like, no risk, no reward. You got to be willing to put yourself out there, and you got to be willing to make changes and do things differently. And like, you know, one of the things for me was like, I had to be willing to be vulnerable, put myself on camera, learn how to do different things. And like, and I will say this process was very intuitive for me. Like, I didn't start out being like, oh, I want to make a tarot YouTube channel. Like, I discovered tarot, and then it just flowed nicely from there. It was not a very like conscious process. And I feel like the reason why I'm talking about this is because what Spirit wants you to understand is that your fulfillment, the wishes that you are seeking, it's not going to unfold in a logical process. It's going to be an unconscious process that you follow by doing what feels right and continuing to do what feels aligned with you, and the path will slowly unfold. You don't need to be planning everything and knowing exactly how everything is going to happen. The universe has this mapped out for you. What you need to do is trust and recognize what isn't in alignment, what creates fear within you that stops you from taking action, what you feel is holding you back or holding you down, and what can you do to address those things, and what habits and behaviors can you integrate or get rid of that could help you along your path and get you closer to your goals. I feel like the biggest thing is, this is all about following your own advice, because you know a lot more than I think you realize, and it's because your soul knows. And I think more so than anything, you might just be keeping yourself small because you're afraid of what might happen if you actually try. And so I think that Wonderland is saying it's time to try, and it's time to start taking your own advice, because if you don't make those changes, then your dreams are just going to stay dreams. And I and the universe want you to make your dreams a reality. So that's what Wonderland has to say about that. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this reading off with some guidance cards for you guys. Ooh, you guys actually got 2 of these affirmations. So the first one is, there are only 2 ways to live your life. One as is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. And guess who said that? Resident smart guy, Albert Einstein. So I would do that. List 3 ways in which today will be miraculous. Did you know a miracle? Do you know a miracle when you see one? Do you know that you're a miracle? Just like the sheer fact that you exist. You could also watch the hockey movie Miracle. I suffered through that movie a lot growing up as a younger sibling. I mean, it could be good now. I just haven't watched it in a long time, and I look at it through that lens of like, I had to watch it because my brothers. But anyway, we also have to be balanced, to be without peaks or troughs. Do tell me what that is like. Thank yourself for your amazing ability to change and to embody different states of being. This is part of your personal wisdom. You are never stagnant, which I think is so important because it might feel like right now you're stagnant, but I do feel like this is just part of a cycle. The Wheel of Fortune is all about moving forward. And I feel like one of the biggest things here is that I feel like this movement is happening in the universe this time, not in your time. But I do think that you can speed things along by taking necessary action that you know you need to take. For some of you, that could include like clearing old things out, getting rid of things, creating space for new. That could be really helpful. But we also have temptation. Are you in denial about an unhealthy habit, perhaps one that makes you feel guilty? This fairy says you have the power to overcome temptation, whatever its guise. Yeah. So there may be like fears or habits that kind of keep you stuck, and I feel like Spirit's saying like those are ready to go. Like if you want your dreams to manifest, let's start there. And you don't even have to be really extreme about it. Maybe just like even tempering, you know, the temperance card, tempering how much you engage in those temptations. But we also have surrender comparisons with other people. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strength, attractiveness, and power. Yeah, no, this is so important too, because like I feel like if you're focusing on how other people have gotten their start or how they've accomplished their dreams and things like that, it's gonna, their way is different from your way, but your way is perfect for you. So just stay in your own lane and focus on that. Like, you know, if you're a Mitsubishi, you can't be looking at a Honda wondering why you don't run like that. It's because you're Mitsubishi, not Honda. I don't know stuff about car stuff, but still. We also have, I release my need to be right. I am defenseless and at peace. And I think that is another thing that I was picking up on. If you feel like you need to defend these, just know like the dreams manifesting will speak for themselves. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Just doing what you feel is right and following that will yield a lot more success than speaking about your plans before they're meant to happen. And finally, we have service. I feel good when I can help others. So I do feel like Spirit is saying like if you really want to, if this dream involves service in any way, I do feel like it will manifest really well. But I feel like if you're trying to find meaning in your life, giving back to other people is a really great way to do that. It's a really great way to feel good. And when you serve the planet serves you. When you serve others, others will serve you. Like service is just one of the most aligned energies on the planet, and it's a very beautiful energy to be in. And the more you are in it, not only will you feel really good, but also you'll be helping the universe solve problems, and you will be greatly rewarded for them. So, pile 3, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do something else, because that is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me and my channel. So thank you very much to everybody who does that. But if you would like to, feel free to like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates, subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. Shout out to my notification squad, you guys are the best. Be sure to check out the 3 other readings as well. Thank you so much, ladies, for letting me collaborate with you guys. And let's see what else. I also have merch link down below, my social media link down below, beware of scammers. But I also have my unicorn Kindle if you'd like to check that out as well. But that is all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. And I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye.